All right. Hello, hello, hello. Good morning, everybody. It is 12 o'clock here in New York City. If you are anywhere else in the country, let me know below. But today we are rocking and rolling with Actors Fast Track because, guys, we have a masterclass tomorrow. So if you're the kind of person that has been trying to book for 2027, I want you guys to think about booking before 2027. We're about to go in the last quarter of the year. This is your chance to make a really good push and start booking now. It is possible to be making money as an actor, to be working consistently as an actor, and more importantly, it's your time to obtain the career that you want and you can control all of it. So guys, this is Actors Fast Track Live here, and we are so happy to see you. So remember, if you join us today on live, what can happen for you is you can win a giveaway, which is a one-on-one with Valorie. It's $497 worth of stuff, and we're gonna do it every hour on the hour. Now I have some exciting guests coming in today. I'll let you know when they're on their way, but more importantly, guys, if you are just joining us for the first time, come join us on our live stream. It's actorsfasttrack.com/live show to jump in and join us for the masterclass. So kind of what I want you to join us for the live and then get access to the awesome QR code for the masterclass because it's only $10. And you're going to have a whole event tomorrow. It's 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. EST. And if you are overseas, guys, it is 4 to 7 p.m. UK time. So what is Actors Fast Track? Because we've been going live the last couple of weeks, and I don't think a lot of people understand that Actors Fast Track has changed my life because it has broken away the idea of being a starving artist and made it really about being an entrepreneur. You are the business owner of your acting career. And the way that that's happened to me is that basically I have pitched myself for every big role that I've wanted. And I've been told for years when I moved to the city 20 years ago now that I was told you have to get reps and then the reps will help you get jobs and you can't do anything without people telling you it's okay. And that is not the case. The industry has changed the last couple of years. And what we want to happen is the fact that you are now no longer worried about gatekeepers. The agents are not gatekeepers. The casting directors are not gatekeepers. The producers are not gatekeepers. The directors are not gatekeepers. But the people that make the decisions, the producers, directors, all those people I just mentioned, you are their colleagues and they need you or they can't do anything. You can't make a film without actors. You can't make theater, live theater without actors. You can't make, verticals now without actors, guys. Trust me. We think that AI is going to take over. It is not. So guys, make sure you come join in on our live show. So make sure you are joining us now at actorsfasttrack.com/live show. Again, we have the masterclass tomorrow. We're giving away, we got $10 tickets. So make sure you scan that QR code and we're going to do a giveaway. Hi, everybody who's joining us on Facebook and Instagram and YouTube. Guys, we have so many goodies coming up tomorrow. I really want to make sure everyone can take advantage because the tickets are $10, okay? And for that couple hours tomorrow between 11 and 2, what is that, like 5 hours? 5 hours worth of like great insight for $10 to learn how to take control of your acting career. Guys, I can't believe next week is September. We're about to be in the fourth quarter of the year. What have you done? Yeah, guys, what have you done? See below, guys, we're commenting. If you see us on Instagram, please join the link in our bio. Again, it's actorsfasttrack.com/live show or /live show. I'm always bad at that. Either way, guys, this is your chance to really take control. I don't know about you, but I started the year saying I was going to book this year. I was going after it. And then, of course, you hit a wall because you're not getting the response you thought. But what have you been doing consistently every day, every week for your acting career? If you're thinking you're only doing one thing a day, or maybe it's just, I just applied on Backstage, or maybe I submitted on Actors No Access, or did I do a workshop today, or did I just call up my agent and say, hey, did we get anything this week? Or maybe you went to look for a representation. Guys, what are you doing for your own acting career? So what you'll learn tomorrow in the masterclass is you'll learn how to figure out your brand as an actor. Yes, if you're a business, guys, which we are entrepreneurs of our own business as actors, we need to have a brand. What's our brand? It's not everything, okay? A master of everything is a master of none as much as you want to do. Every single job under the sun, you're going to figure out what branding means as an actor. You're going to figure out what control you have over your acting career, that if you want something, who can you pitch? Yes, guys, as actors, we can pitch ourselves as the best product to the people that we want to work with. You're going to also learn about who are your buyers. Buyers are casting directors, they're directors, they're producers, they're showrunners, the writers, etc. Guys, let us know, like, who is your salespeople? Those are your reps and your managers. If you're not thinking like that about your acting career, and you're thinking that the sales team is more important than the buyers, guys, it's because you're not thinking like a business. And for the longest time, creativity was thought, for the longest time, oh, that's not a real business, that's not a real job. We have somebody that I'm teaching the UGC class with that we're having right now, who is making $250,000 this year, $250,000 as an actor this year, doing UGC and getting so much acting work off his UGC. And UGC is acting work, guys. There are so many opportunities for actors to make money. So if you are ready to take the next step, come join me on the live. Let's chat. The more active people are in the chat, the more of a chance you get to win the giveaways today. So make sure you are joining us. So guys, I am going to see where we're at right now. I'm going to invite some more people to come join us today, because I want to make sure everybody is getting the info on today's masterclass, guys, because the masterclass tomorrow, you don't want to miss it. You could have gotten it for $10. And by the end of tomorrow, you'll know exactly how to take control of your acting career before the year is over. And forget booking in 2027. Let's book before 2027. I've been seeing all these, acting coach people or business strategy actor people, whatever vernacular you want to use, claiming we're going to book in 2027. Screw that, guys. I want to book now. So just to give you an idea of when I say book now, like, what am I doing for myself? Am I just sitting here talking on live, guys? I've been working with Valorie for over 10 years, which I can't even believe now. But everything I've learned from her from the minute I met her and now has helped me immensely. I've made friends with the executive producers of the Harry Potter series. I was very focused on that. I'm friendly with David Heyman, who's just, the owner and founder of Heyday Films, who helped create the whole Harry Potter franchise, but also did Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Oh, and a little movie called Barbie, and countless more, guys. You can make these relationships with these big people, have them know your name. Like John Papsadera, the casting director he was the casting director for Westworld. He's now the casting director for all the Taylor Sheridan stuff, Yellowstone, all the spinoffs. What else? Oh yeah, he did. What's that new Landman with Billy? Am I going to call him Billy Bob Thornton? I was going to call him Billy Ray Cyrus. Those are two totally different people, guys. But now, guys, just so you know, like, I took control because I figured out my brand. Hold on a second. Join here if you can. All right. So, guys, just so you know, these people, John Papsadera, that casting director, who's also the owner of Automatic Sweat Casting based in LA, he gave me my first pilot lead audition because I found the audition in Actors Access. I really wanted it. And I learned what I learned in Actors Fast Track about pitching myself, knowing what I want, saying who I am and how I see myself in this world that he's building. He got back to me right away and gave me my first pilot lead audition. And I've auditioned for him countless times already this year. And you bet I'm going to follow up before the year's over, because I want to get on one of those Yellowstone spinoffs. Come on, I want to go out to Zion Park and look like I lived in a country western. I'm ready for it. Let me write something. We're going to get some great actors here today. I'm just making sure they have all the info. We're going to have 2 actors that are currently with Actors Fast Track right now who are taking their brand and talking to the people that they want and getting lead auditions. I can't even wait to tell you who's going to be here. I'm going to let it be a surprise, because whether you are looking for those gothy witchy roles, we're about to come up in October, guys. I know that I'm looking at them. Or you're looking to be, I don't know, an unsub in Criminal Minds, or better yet, you're trying to be the bartender in the next, I don't know, Friends or Cheers. I don't know, guys. It is possible if you stay focused and consistent. I was making sure I'm like, okay, I got 2 amazing actors. I'm just making sure that they're gonna be here in like an hour, and you're gonna go crazy. Okay, now let's talk about it. We're 9 minutes in today, guys. We're gonna be here for 2 hours and be done at 2:00. This is your chance, the last time today, to get $10 tickets to tomorrow's actor masterclass, which the theme of it is being booked, paid, and busy. We know the difference between booked and paid. Guys, no more freebies. No more freebies, guys. You can be booked and earn money. I know it's crazy to think about, guys, but we don't think as actors. I think we're stuck in this whole starving artist mentality that we have to struggle and we have to hustle and no one's going to take us seriously. No, We are money-making entities. They can't do stuff without us, guys. You can make a living as a working actor, and you can define what that means for you, okay? And I love the saying that Valorie always has. So guys, if you haven't checked out Valorie Hubbard, she is like the queen of the business of acting, because she has been in, I'm going to miss all of them because she's been in so many things, but American Horror Story, Resident Evil, True Blood, Hannah Montana, every single Disney thing possible you could think of, you've probably seen her face, but she's been in so many things. She's not only a working actress, she's still working. She's still like changed the minds of actors and the way we do business, but also she's practicing what she preached. She has gone after everything with the same thing that she's been teaching all the people that are Actors Fast Track. And now we have a great community. We have databases full of all those people you want to work with. You want to work with Tim Burton? We got Tim Burton's email address, guys. Join in the fun. But I want to make sure everyone's getting the chance today. So if you're joining us live, remember actorsfasttrack.com/live show. So make sure you're joining us today. And I want to make sure that everyone gets the chance. So let's do this. If you are first time here, if you're on Instagram, Facebook, or YouTube, come join us in the live so you can win that giveaway. Because I'm going to announce the first giveaway in about 45 minutes. And I want to make sure everyone gets the chance to win that, because we've had some great winners who have been able to already transform their careers in just the last month. So let's see. Now, I want to let you know where my goals are. So this is how I learned with Actors Fast Track now that I'm in the last quarter of the year, okay? It's been a crazy summer. I've changed my brand in the sense that I've evolved it. I used to be brazen, unbridled, and blonde. Now I call myself like the beautiful menace. I don't think I'm going to use that. But guys, basically, I'm the girl that always plays women that are constantly at conflict with themselves. And they're not afraid to get dirty. I'm like that Beth Dutton, okay? Beth Dutton is like my spirit animal. But I consider myself a combination of like Margot Robbie and Billie Piper. So who do you think, when you think of the person that has a career that you want right now, who is that person? And what kind of roles are they playing? What are they going after? What are the roles that you do better than anybody else? This is how you start thinking about your actor brand, and you start getting that low-hanging fruit and start climbing up the ladder to get those careers that you want. And you could jump above, not even like wait on the ground level. You can go as high as you want to. We have an amazing actress, Kat, who's been with Actors Fast Track for 9 years. And you know what she auditioned for the last couple of years? She only auditions for leads, not co-stars, not guest stars, lead roles. She auditioned, I don't know, for a little movie called Wicked. Okay. She auditioned for Nessa in Wicked. And guess what? She's not the only actor from Actors Fast Track that auditioned for Nessa in Wicked. So I'm telling you, everything that people learn in Actors Fast Track, it's more than one person are getting this success. We had Tosh Jordan, whose birthday was yesterday. We had Tosh Jordan on a couple weeks ago. He booked himself Bel Air. He booked himself Young, I think, All-American from what he learned in Actors Fast Track. So guys, trust me when I say this is the time for actors to be the like decision makers in the entertainment industry. Okay. And like, I know a lot of people are worried about AI and all that stuff, but just so you understand, guys, the vertical industry, which also is money, money, money. Speaking of my actor friends out there that are trying to make money as an actor, which should be all of us, right? They are making so much money with verticals, but the vertical networks thought they'd be sneaky and like save money and start making these AI series with like AI actors. And they lost millions of dollars. Not just one network, all the networks lost millions of dollars. So much so because the fans of the verticals didn't like the fake actors and the AI acting. So now they're like putting so much money again behind big vertical actors. One of my friends is becoming a huge vertical star. So guys, there are so many ways to become successful, to get your name out there, to be working and to be making money working as an actor. This is your time. It's the last quarter of the year. So it's a time to, everyone's making new decisions. Everyone's planning for 2027. You could book now to work in 2027. You could book now to be making work in 2026 still. It's the last 4 months of the year. What are you doing to finally take those steps? Are you waiting for someone to give the opportunity, or are you pushing through and grabbing that opportunity for yourself? And people have been doing this for years, guys. This isn't like brand new. It's just the first time that people are actually putting it into action and in systems that people can follow. So if you are someone that's been tired of waiting around, that spent so much money on like the $1,000 headshots, or maybe you went to like 20 of those like workshops just to meet a casting director for 5 minutes and hoping they know your name, I want to ask you, Every workshop you've gone to, did you follow up with that person afterwards? Every single audition you've had, did you follow up with them afterwards? I know that's what I'm bad at. I'm always bad at the follow through, guys. And make sure, yeah, guys, if you are joining us on Vimeo, YouTube, if you're joining us on Facebook, Instagram, all that good stuff, guys, join us in the live, actorsfasttrack.com/live show to join us now. So again, if you are joining us, guys, our masterclass tomorrow, go scan the QR code, go to the link in our bio. The tickets are $10. The theme is booked, paid, and in demand. I know that's what I want. So when you think of what your success as an actor is, isn't it to be booked, paid, and in demand? I want my whole phone blowing up. Guys, I have taken control of my career, not just like acting in like, shows, films, theater, etc., but my UGC career has been popping off to a point where I have brands fighting over me and offering me more money without me even asking, might I add, because of the fact I'm such a good live show host, which I've used to help me like be like a host for countless things. And being a host and interviewing celebrities has got me more acting jobs. So guys, everything is a breadcrumb to the next stage of your career. And guys, I'm telling you, we are in the middle of our live UGC class. We were offering the last couple of weeks. The fact about the UGC class is that we are teaching actors how to be content creators and use that to get more acting work. Like I said, we have an actor, Mike Provenzano, who's one of my co-teachers with that. We teach that class. He's making $250,000 this year as an actor. So I want to know, how many of you thought you could make, I don't know, $50,000 a year as an actor? Can you imagine? 5 times as much? He's accomplishing that. And it's very easy. We're just always thinking of all the obstacles. We're not thinking about the solution. So if you're ready to find the solutions on how to take control of your acting career, now is the time. And this is the way to do it. So guys, make sure you are joining that masterclass tomorrow. Again, it's only $10. It's from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you are, we have so many international clients right now, guys. I can't even the things that I'm learning from these international clients about how different the industry is, but how much stuff is happening just because it's a hop, skip, and a jump over the pond, as they say. But they're working in Budapest, they're working in Poland, they're working in Germany, they're working in London, they're working in Ireland, everywhere. Guys, people are acting everywhere. It's not just the United States, it's not just Canada, even though I'm trying to break into Canada, guys. This is your time. And we're going to help you guys with reps if that's what you feel you're at. We're going to help you guys with making relations with the casting directors, booking directly with the producers and the writers, getting to the next stage that you've been trying to get to without waiting around, wondering why no one knows who you are. It's because you're not putting yourself out there. You're waiting for someone to give you the opportunity. Give yourself the opportunity. Stop waiting for someone to tell you yes. Give yourself the permission to say yes and move forward on your own career. So I'd love to take some questions today. So again, if you are in Instagram, YouTube, Vimeo, or Facebook, come join us on the live. Comment below. Ooh, I didn't even look at the comments. Look at me. We have so many people. Okay, wait, no, we don't. Hi, guys. All right, so guys, join the chat ASAP if you can. I am here to answer all your questions. We're going to be here till 2 o'clock, guys. And trust me, at 1 o'clock, we're going to have some new guests come in. But until then, I want to make sure everyone knows about this master class. So if you're joining us from anywhere in the world, let me know. I love finding out who's finding us here on Actors Fast Track. But we're going to be adding a lot more stuff now that the fall is here. We got new challenges. We got new courses. We have so many ways to equip actors to become successful. And the first step is this $10 masterclass, guys. Again, there's a QR code. There's a link in the bio. $10 to get the blueprint of how to be a successful actor before 2026 is over. Don't wait till 2027. I'm sick of hearing all this stuff about people saying, you could get booked by 2027. No, I want to get booked, but now. I want to get booked before 2027. And you can do it. I know you don't think so, but you can do it. My friend who's becoming a vertical star right now, people were like, oh, vertical is poo-poo-poo. Oh, that's lame. No. She is a series regular now on a TV show. I can't say what it is, but she got booked on the 2nd season of this TV show, and they have signed her on for 8 seasons. Because it's a book series. It's based on a book series, guys. Trust me, there are so many ways to become successful as actors in this time. More than anything. More than any way possible. So don't be shy. Come on board. Again, all these links, guys. I know we're live on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Vimeo. Come join us on the link in the bio or go to actorsfasttrack.com/live show. Join us now. Come in the comments. Let me know where you're coming from. And more importantly, let me answer your questions about how to get started, or better yet, let me give you a free gift, guys. We're gonna put that first giveaway coming up soon. But remember, we only might do one giveaway today. So it all depends on who's gonna join us. And again, this is your last chance. It's the end of August, everybody. I hate to break it to you. We are at the end of the summer. I don't want to believe it either. But we're about to go into fall. In September, October, November, December. And let me tell you, between Thanksgiving and December and New Year's, it's like a wash, right? So really, what are you going to do to attack hard, consistent, and follow through in September and October and half of November to make sure that your name is in everybody's mouths from now to the end of the year through next year, so you are booked, paid, and busy starting now? And that's what we're going to teach you in the masterclass tomorrow. So remember, the QR code for me is like here. I hope the QR code for you is also there. So scan it now. That QR code is the way to get that ticket. So I just want to let you know. So if you guys don't know how to do it, I'm going to show you. So my little trusty phone, you're going to just put your phone up to the screen if you can, or screenshot. You're going to take a look here. I'm going to take a picture of myself. So look here, I have myself scanning the QR code. You scan that QR code right now. Bam, it opens up right to the masterclass. Look, book, paid, and in demand. The no BS masterclass for actors who want to work now. And I want to work now. So wherever you're watching from, guys, definitely join us. We're going to see your comments tomorrow. The tickets are only $10. $10. And let me tell you guys, this is not the only affordable, awesome thing that we have. We just had our Pitch Fest literally a month ago, and we had 20 actors signed last year. We have people that got signed this year, and we had agents from UK, Canada, Utah, New York, LA, all regional agents and managers from the United States, people overseas. And let me tell you, those tickets, I think they were only like $49.99. Normally they're like $99. I mean, either way, guys, you got to meet 12 agents. 12 agents. Do you understand? You can't even meet 12 agents. You can't even meet one agent for that. I mean, that literally, you can't even meet one agent for that. That's like, if you are coming from out of New York City to come into New York City to go to a live workshop, that alone costs you $50. So imagine if you're spending less than that to meet all those reps and get to pitch them and follow up with them and get representation. We want to help actors really take control. Okay. Hold on. So, guys, I just want to let you all know our first guest is going to come up soon. I'm so excited. So, guys, again, go scan the QR code, join us for the masterclass tomorrow, and start taking control of your acting career. So, I have a couple guests coming on today. In about an hour, we're going to have 2 actors from Actors Fast Track who are they're in the cohort that I run on Mondays. They are working actors. They are actors attacking the big roles. We have one girl who has the coolest brand. I'm not even going to tell you, but she auditioned for the lead of a huge show that's coming out this fall. So I'm going to let her talk about how she did that. And then we also have one of our amazing British clients coming on to tell you about her journey and what her goal is as an actor and how she's been hitting that and what she's been booking, following that line of what her plan is, the ultimate goal that she has, and the things that she's booked along the way. Because remember, if you set a goal, you're not just waiting for that goal. Everything you do along the way is going to get you closer to that goal. So she's going to come on board as well. And right now, I believe we're going to have an influencer agent come on board. My good friend Hope, who is also an actress who started becoming an influencer agent because she also saw how, hold on. All right. Hi, Lisa. Hi. Hold on, we're having a little tech issue. Hi, Lisa. Lisa, how are you? Cool. So let me just hold on. I got to make sure she's getting the link right now. Hold on. So Lisa, how are you doing? What have you been up to? And thank you so much for joining us. Lisa, where are you coming from? Tell me. Good. Hi. So guys, yeah, come on board. Lisa, join Lisa. Guys, I love having people in the room because we're going to talk all about your acting career today. This is your time. When we go live, guys, I am here for you guys. I might have drank the Kool-Aid, but the Kool-Aid has brought me amazing opportunities. Okay. For those that don't know, my new obsession is heated rivalry. I'm trying to get on the show. I literally pitched myself to go and be the creator. Ooh, Arizona. Very nice. How is it in Arizona? What's the weather like? Because it is so crazy right now. So yeah, it's humid here. We're about to get into the fall weather. Sign up right for it. Yes, Lisa, I am so excited. So tell me, what are you most excited to learn from the masterclass tomorrow? What are you looking forward to do from now to the end of 2026 for your acting career? Tell me. I want to know. Nice. 112 degrees in Arizona. Oh my. Oh my, that's hot today. Wow, that's crazy. So yeah, so I am so happy. See, we have people from everywhere. So Arizona, what is your focus right now, Lisa? Like, what are you? Okay. Yes, exactly, guys. I love when we have clients in here because they're always working towards their goal. And after they get there, their goals always get bigger. So Lisa, tell me, what's your game right now with Actors Fast Track? Like, tell me, like, what's your focus right now? And what are you hoping to take away from tomorrow's masterclass to get you to the next level before 2027? We're waiting for Lisa. Again, guys, if you want to join our live stream, discipline and learning UGC. Learning UGC. I'm so happy that Lisa said that. So Lisa knows that I teach the UGC for Actors course with Mike Provenzano, who I keep mentioning. He's going to make $250,000 this year as an actor. That could also be you. Lisa, yeah, discipline. Trust me. I think that's the hardest thing as an actor is discipline, which is so funny, right? Okay. Oh, and I gotta make my lovely agent friend is having an issue. Hold on a second. So the best I can anyway. Yes. So speaking of discipline, I just want to talk about that. I think as an actor, discipline is always the hardest thing, which is funny because like when we have an audition, I hope we're all like, we're jumping in, we're focusing, we're like really working when we get the job, but like, or the audition for the job, but what are we doing to get the audition? That discipline is literally important. Discipline doesn't start when you get the job. Discipline doesn't start when you get the audition. Discipline starts at the moment you say, I want to work as an actor. How are you reaching out every week? How are you finding that work? How are you following up with that work? How are you, moving forward with your acting career in between? Okay, hold on 1 second. Guys, my friend Hope is just having a little issue. Hold on. She's my influencer agent friend, which is great, Lisa, because we're going to talk about UGC. Yay. So, Lisa, in terms of discipline, tell me, what do you think your biggest difficulty with discipline is? Because I know my hardest thing is sometimes follow through because I get like, oh my God, what's going to happen? That I always kind of like maybe do too much, right? Like I have ADHD, guys. I am like so fine being an actor. I put the A in ADHD as the actor, right? Like sometimes it's hard for me, but that's why I create systems and structure to get through that. So Lisa, tell me, what is something about discipline that you were looking forward? Okay. Hold on. Okay, she's here. Okay. Hold on. All right. So Lisa, so tell me, I want to know about your discipline. I also want to know about UGC. What are you looking for about UGC? What can I tell you about UGC before tomorrow? Time. I'm always running around. Preaching to the choir, Lisa. You're preaching to the choir. I totally get that. But my favorite saying that I heard a little while ago, and this is going to sound so silly, but you have just the same hours in a day as Beyonce. And if Beyonce can do all that she does in 24 hours, so can you, right? I think it's just a matter of, in my opinion, I think a lot of us get overwhelmed because it seems like there's so much time and then no time, right? And also it's just like, it's not and then it's all, I don't have the resources and the structure. No, oh, Lisa, UGC question. Does it always have to be products? What a great question. No. The answer is no. UGC doesn't always have to be products. UGC can be services. UGC can be events. I do a lot of stuff. I mean, I'm like a hybrid. I'm not just a UGC content creator. I am also, exactly, Lisa, I'm glad that we're on the same level today. I'm not just a UGC creator. I am also a content creator in the sense, like people would say influencer. I hate that term. Being an influencer is not that important anymore. Being a platform of influence is the way I like to say it. So what I would say is, yes, like I go to events, like I do a lot of stuff for theater. So like I would get invited to theater events and then I would talk about the show, or I would post about it so they can like go to help sell more tickets because they could repost the experience. Or like restaurants, for example. Restaurants are my favorite thing. I really got into restaurants and food and stuff because I wanted to get invited to more higher end things. So I thought if I did like higher end event, like restaurants or experiences in New York, I would get that. And that's exactly what happened. So it doesn't always have to be products. You know, it could be I went to a spa. It could be I got my nails done. It could be I went to a kickboxing class. I mean, it could be. All right. We got her coming on. Technology, I think, is the hardest. It's like the blessing and the curse. Ah, yay! Hope is here. Okay, guys, my lovely friend Hope, who's also my influencer agent, I believe, has joined us. I don't know if her camera's going to work, but she's here. Yay! Okay, guys, everybody, Hope, we made it happen. Hello. Guys, this is the amazing Hope. I'm going to let her introduce herself so she can tell you all about who she is, what she does, and the amazingness that she is. So go ahead, take the floor.
Hi, it's actually this is so funny. I'm the founder of Lit Agency. We are an international agency that does UGC, influencer marketing, meta ads. Funny enough, I just finished filming an ad and got a message from Jordan. Yo, you want to hop on?
So, exactly. We're thinking about each other subconsciously. It's hilarious.
Room.
Exactly. No, look, I got my play on my wall. We're all good. So I love Hope, especially because like I adore you. You know, we become really good friends over the years, but I saw her because she was really pushing hard about the fact that like the creators, when creators, I think really were switching from, I think we really started working together right when influencers last couple of years have been totally fading out. That word's become like a dirty word almost. And now like you are a professional UGC creator now, like, and that means so much. That kind of could be like, it's your face, it's your social, or you're really just making content, which I always consider it like the old industrials. Like that's kind of what UGC is now. I don't know if you feel the same way.
Yeah. It's so weird because, you know, UGC is a multi-billion-dollar industry. And if you're a professional content creator and throw yourself into it, it's easily a 6-figure career. And to think about that, I mean, still mind-blowing to think that that's a career. Most people don't even know what UGC is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Unless you're in the UGC community or you're in marketing or advertising, even small businesses, you know, like when our brand speaks to a new client, they immediately go to influencer. They say, I want influencer marketing. And what they really want is UGC. They don't know that they're seeing UGC because UGC is be authentic. It's supposed to be real. It's supposed to give influencer vibes. In general, there's so many different kinds of UGC. You know, UGC stemmed from literally a user of your product generating content for you into ad style formats. And now there's Yapper style, podcast style, ad style, talking head. I mean, you can get as or as commercial as you want with it these days. And it's crazy.
Yeah, and speaking of 6 figures, so I know you haven't been part of the Actors Fast Track universe yet, but I love Actors Fast Track. It's business of acting, so it's a lot of stuff that me and Hope vibe because she used to be an actor, she still does UGC stuff, but we're also marketing junkies. Like we love a good like marketing pitch. Okay, so we really bonded on that, and that's been great, and so that's why I love Actors Fast Track because we talk about like we're the business. You are your own business, pretty much. Like you are the product, you are the services, you are as the actor. And I think it's funny because like I'm currently teaching a UGC for Actors course with Actors Fast Track right now. We're in the middle of it now. And the guy that I'm also teaching it with, co-teaching, he's going to make $250,000 this year as a UGC creator. So we've been telling people it is possible and it is still considered acting. I booked so much acting work off my UGC portfolio. But I would love to know from you, what has been the biggest transformation that you've seen in that world as a creator, and how it's affected your clients, it's affected how you run your business, and the opportunities that have come your way?
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of transformations every day, right? So like I was just saying, it used to be so easy. It would be just me having bought a product from you being like, hey, I, really love this, eyeshadow. It's my favorite. Here's why. That's where it stemmed from.
Mm-hmm.
And, to be a UGC creator, people come to me all the time. Creators come to me all the time, or people who would like to be creators being like, how do I start? How do I start? Well, you really have to train yourself or take a course on what transitions are, what green screen is, how to edit, what a hook is, a CTA. A lot of times, if a client comes to you and they don't already have a script and they're not asking for raw footage, they're asking for edited content. You have to be actor, writer, producer, editor. You have to be everything. And that's where prices range, what to charge. Are you charging $100? Are you charging $500? Are you charging $1,000? Are you charging plus? It really depends on what your deliverables are and how they're using it. And that changes all the time. And it's tough if if you're coming into this brand new and you haven't been in the industry in a while. It's really, really tough because you see people charging just an asinine amount of money for nothing. And then you see people charging nothing for an asinine amount of content. And there should be a standard rate in the UGC community, and there kind of is, but in general, it's whatever people can get for whatever price. And it's all over the board. So people really don't know what to charge or what to do. And rates and deliverables are changing on a regular day-to-day basis. So, we have UGC creators in our agency who are brand new and used to charge like $100 for Yapper style video. And now they're influencers and UGC creators. So now they're charging upwards of $1,000. And I would say the most difficult thing is negotiating rates and deliverables, because it changes all the time.
Definitely. And I think that that's one thing I like about working with you is it's always we talk about, and you always have negotiated with the business side of it, with the brand first, before you figure out who you're going to pick. What's the process? Because we've never had an influencer agent. I don't even want to call you that. You're like a creator agent. It's so weird to say, but you're a creator agent right now. And I think that we had a lot of people from typical reps, right? And I just think it's important for people to understand, what's the process for you, and how is that different than what you think a process would be for a regular rep, for example?
Yeah. So we just signed a pretty big client, and they wanted influencer marketing, UGC, and live streaming.
Oh, fun. All those things. We love those things.
They want all of those things. And, influencer rates are very different from UGC rates, are very different from live streaming rates.
100%.
But we don't want to disappoint. Okay. So as an actor, you go in for an audition, you're really excited about it. Then you find out you didn't get the job. It's super disappointing, right? We don't want to do that to our creators. So what we do is we submit them before they even know that the client's interested in them. We submit them to the client. The client goes through a list of people we've submitted and says, yes, no, yes, no. Then we go back to the content creator and we say, all right, here's the rate we have, and here's the client that's interested in. Would you like to take the job? Yep. We would rather the content creator have the authority to turn down the brand than to go to the content creator first, say this brand is interested in you, submit them to the brand decide, what, we're not interested in them after all, and then to let them down. We're very much so creator first, not brand first. So I just want our creators to be very comfortable. But that's our process. That is not the usual process. We do things very, very differently in our agency all the time. We value time over money. So for example, we had one client that was just taking forever to approve scripts and stuff. So the agency on our side threw in an extra $50 to everyone's campaign just to say thank you for your patience. Brands kind of suck sometimes. And I think that if you want to be a content creator, you have to know what to deal with and what not to deal with, and when it's okay to set boundaries and put your foot down. Because as soon as you accept everything from a brand and let them push you around and let them take over your time. I mean, you got a lot of brands that ask you for 2 to 3 day turnovers. We don't play that game in our company. All of our creators have at least 7 days from getting product. We will not ask them to do a 2 to 3 day turnover unless we're throwing a lot more money at them. So I would say, like, if you're getting into it, try to know, you know, your worth and try to know your values, because there are a lot of people who don't, and they're only making it harder for other content creators by accepting things that they shouldn't accept. One thing that I know, I think probably this is a very controversial subject, is on Backstage. Backstage was originally a platform for actors, right? Actually, you're the one that was like, you should check it out now because they've got UGC on there now. I was like, get the out of here, because I remember going on there for acting
for
years
student films. It was just student films for days. Like,
it's so crazy. They've got everything now. So I went on to check it out because that's what our company does. We have to check out every platform, everything. And the amount of freaking brands that had the audacity to ask for content before being hired as like an audition process. No freaking way. You're not getting free content from me. I'm playing myself. You don't need to see our content creators portray someone else. This isn't an acting audition. We've got UGC portfolios. That is our audition. So controversial subject here is some people do it anyway because they've got the time. I don't have the time for that. I don't expect my content creators to have the time for that. I say if you're on Backstage and they ask you for content for free before even hiring you, oh, here, can you submit this tape of it? I would say don't do it. Come to my agency instead. We'll find you work without that. But yeah, controversial subject. I know. I'm just again to reiterate, know what you can and cannot get away with as a UGC creator. Sometimes you do have to make allowances, and other times it's just brands trying to see what they can get away with. Because who's to say that they're not going to use that footage of you for something else? Exactly. They want you to get a little clip saying, "I love this brand because XYZ." Who's to say they're not going to use it in a compilation? You haven't signed a contract yet.
Exactly. That's such a perfect thing. Like, I like pre-screens for like regular auditions because I don't have to ask for, like, I'm not waiting for the self-tape. And going back to your initial point about like the fact that like if you're a UGC content creator, you have to know how to light, mic, whatever. And yes, you just need to know how to like edit, put yourself on camera, basically. And for a lot of people, that's very difficult. But actors now that self-tapes have become so normal, we're doing that regularly, which is why I think it's such a great transition and an intermediary for actors to make money acting in between their next goal jobs. And this is they can make a lot more money. And I think it's so funny you mentioned live streaming. So as you know, I've become a very big live streamer over the last couple of years. That, like I was just saying earlier before you got on, like I have brands like fighting over me now, which is really cool. But my rate is different. Like I just doubled my rate because I also have people who want me to film at home, or they want me to go to their studio. It's very different. And like, I think that, you know, not everyone has to be a live streamer. I think a lot of people get concerned about that. But the reality is that the fact that you negotiate more now as a creator. And I also love what you mentioned about your process, because that's something that I think is really important for actors to even think about in general. Like, be actor focused, not what the client necessarily needs. Your client, we call them like your buyers. You're not what they need, but like what are your non-negotiables? And the fact is like, is that worth your time? And I love that you kind of pitch before that, because that's what a lot of people are hoping their reps do. And they don't know how to ask the right questions. And they're also not giving necessarily fodder for that. You are very particular with who you sign on, which I'm always grateful to be part of your roster. But also I do love the fact that you're like seeing, is this person good for my creators before you bring them on? And then also like, okay, I have a couple good people. Let me see if that works. And then there's you're cutting out that like middleman. You're cutting out the backstage. You're cutting out the actor's access. You're becoming the broker of the job, which I think is great, because you're also fighting for your creators, which I think is really, really awesome.
Yeah, well, thank you. I appreciate that. We've got, we're able to do that because we're a boutique agency with only about 150 creators, right? So I would say, like, beware if you guys are looking for agents or representation and somebody claims they've got 20,000 plus creators. No, they don't. They have a directory. That's all they have. They haven't spoken with these creators. They haven't seen them face to face. They don't really know their works. They just have a directory. So they don't probably most likely don't care about you as a human, just what you can make for them monetarily. So even if you're not like signing on with us, which we are picky, to be fair, we are particular, I should say, to be fair. Even if you're, signing up with somebody else, I would suggest going with like a boutique agency who's going to care about who you are as a human.
Yeah. So a couple things. So first of all, I was asked, do you have any social media that we can post so people can find out more about you? And so tell us that, because they're going to put it up in the live chat. So what's your socials? Let's start there.
We're a local influencer tour. That's LIT stands for local influencer tour, because we started off as an influencer agency, doing tours, connecting brands with local influencers. As UGC evolved, we transformed into LIT agency. So local influencer tour. And you can find us online on our website, localinfluencertour.com as well.
And then I also have, and then if you want to follow Hope's journeys, it's Hope It Girl Friday.
Right? It Girl Friday, if you want a little chaos in your life, I guess.
Yes. So I know we have some people in the comments, some people who came in before you got on who are asking questions. So Lisa, if you're still here, I'm actually gonna let Hope answer the question I already answered for you, but I would love to hear her feedback. So Lisa, who's still here, she asked about UGC. She wants to know, does it always have to be products? And I know it doesn't, but I would love to hear from you other things aside from products that you've had to like broker for clients.
Yeah, I mean, we've even gone so far as to do health insurance brokers. So
love that.
Anything. It really, really can be anything. It can be a product. It can be a service. It can be software. It can be tech. It can be an app. It could be health insurance. We've done pet insurance. We've done a health, like I said, the health insurance broker, not even the insurance themselves. It can be a therapist. It can be really literally anything under the sun. You just have to pitch it the right way. Obviously, products are easier. They're easier sells. The ROI on UGC for products is a lot higher, and they're more fun because you get the products for free on top of
money. On top of money. We love that.
Who doesn't like that? I can't remember the last time I bought makeup or skincare.
I know. I brought my friend a whole bag. My friend's like a new mom, and I brought her a bag of all these supplements. And she's like, "You didn't buy this?" And I'm like, "No, I did not." The amount of free makeup I've gotten my mother, and the amount of free clothes. I mean, it's great because people don't realize, like, especially when you're getting started. I always recommend do the gifted collabs to get started to build your portfolio. Because first of all, think about the amount of money you would have spent on that item and that you don't have to spend anymore. And I know a lot of people are like, "Oh, poo-poo on the gifted collabs," but if you have nothing, it's a great way to get started.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, and who doesn't in any industry, right? Any industry. You're in college, you do internships that are unpaid, right? You are a model, you do work to get your portfolio there, an actor, an artist. It doesn't matter what industry you're in. You're usually doing some unpaid work at some time just to get to any serious job anyway. Like I said, internship. So it makes sense. Just once you have that portfolio, then I would suggest not doing gifted collabs unless it's like something you really
want.
Way, especially if it's expensive. Think about what the expense is versus your time, right? So if somebody is doing a gifted collab for a $25 foundation, maybe you do really, really want that foundation, but it's going to take you an hour or two of your time. Well, then it's not worth it anyway, because you could have somebody pay you for an hour or two of your time and then buy that foundation. So you get to the point where you don't have to take gifted collabs anymore. It's okay to, if it's really, really worth it. Otherwise, please don't, because if you do, you're hurting other content creators, because now that brand thinks they can get a gifted collab from anyone and get the same quality, right? In general, if you're doing a gifted collab in the beginning, they're going to get beginner style work, right? And that's okay because they're not being paid for it. But once you know that you can provide really good work that takes a lot of time, if they want that time, don't do a gifted collab. If they want a quick video or testimonial and you want that product, that's a different story. Go ahead and do it. But
I think it's weighing where you're at. I think it's all like where you're at. I think that also like it's a good. I'm glad. Let's talk about portfolios for a second.
Yeah.
Because I also think when I think about Lisa says, hold on. Lisa says I'm still getting used to being comfortable in front of a camera too, so I'm just starting slower, and that's fine. That's fine. And guys, if anyone has any questions for Hope, like put your question up. We'll ask her. She doesn't bite, I promise. She's great. But let's talk about portfolios. So like in this course, what I always tell everybody when I teach the course, it's the third time I'm doing it. And what I do is I make sure everyone in there, by the end of the course, I have them make, like they have homework. And I always tell them by the end of the course, I want you to have done one of each of these videos. Because in my opinion, these are the top 3 types of videos that every creator needs in their portfolio, which is a testimonial, an unboxing, and a how-to. And the fact is, those are like really easy because those are also easy sells. That's what a lot of people want. And also like I tell them you could do it faceless. We're actors, we probably should be in front of the camera, but there's options of both. And a lot of UGC creators make money off faceless because they just license the faceless content and the B-roll. But aside from those 3, do you think they're missing anything else? And what would you think is important for someone to see in a portfolio who's not like me or someone else who's also an influencer, quote unquote?
Yeah. So if you really want to get everything in your portfolio to show that you can cover a wide range, I would suggest podcast style content. If you're confident enough with it, street interview content. The easiest one to do is yapper style content, which is literally just talking to the screen about a product in a very conversational tone. And then like ad style content, which is where the green screen comes in, the transitions, the voiceover, all of that. For Lit Agency, the ad style content is really what's going to get you money because we'll pay you for raw footage, but you get paid more if we know you're a good editor.
Exactly.
So
exactly. Yeah.
Less that our team has to do. So we're either paying our team or we're paying you, and our team has enough on their plate. So if we can pay you to do the editing, then we'll do it. So as soon as we get like ad style content, we know you can probably handle other stuff too.
Lisa says ad style is more my speed anyway. Very nice. Yeah. And I think again, editing is so easy for actors, guys, because we edit our self-tapes. So like, that's why I'm saying it's so easy. You could do so much. It's just literally you are the self-starter of the job. You are planning every aspect of the job, but we're already having to do that. I always like to like say my self-tape days, I because it takes forever to put up makeup. For me has become so anxiety inducing because it's like you have to get ready and it's like a whole thing. But I use those days to like double dip on doing like, let's say I want to do TikTok shop content, or let's say I want to just shoot some new stuff and submit it or update my portfolio or things like that. It's just always good to just continue to work on your craft. And if you're already set up for it, I always like to say, how can I cash in on my self-tape today, whether I book it or not? And that's my philosophy.
It's interesting that you brought up makeup because that's something that people don't consider either, right? There's a very big double standard between men and women in the UG.
Ooh, we lost her. Hold on a second. What happened? Hold on. Tech issue. Hold on. All right, she'll come back. So when she comes back, we'll figure it out. But guys, if you have any questions for Hope, she's back. She's back. She's not back. We'll figure it out. She'll come back in a second. When she hops on, we'll continue what she was saying. But guys, if you have any questions for Hope, please.
Okay. Oh, no, that's not right.
It's okay. I see you.
Okay, you can see me.
Hey.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
I can't
see
hear
you.
Why?
Oh no, it's okay. Your phone just hates me.
Oh, you can hear me. Okay, so I'll say this one thing and then I should hop off anyway because we got a client call coming in about a half an hour. But there's a double standard when it comes to men and women in any industry, but especially the UGC industry, right? Because what takes a dude 2 seconds to, I won't say 2 seconds to shoot, but they don't have to do their hair and makeup the way women do. So that's something to factor in, right? If they're really looking for a specific look, they want your hair curled. We had a client send back footage and be like, oh, no, this girl's hair wasn't curled the way it was in the sample you sent us. Well, you didn't specify that she had to curl her hair. Do you know how long it takes to curl your hair? That's going to be extra money. And you don't think about that. And in general, we are not to that point yet where you can charge extra for hair and makeup. Technically, it's not really acceptable, but I do anyway. So instead of charging extra, what you do, the loophole is that you just add it into your standard rates.
Yep.
You add it in. Are you a little more expensive than a dude? Maybe. They don't need to know why. They don't know it's because you took an extra hour to do your hair and makeup. But another thing with that is, are there outfit changes, right? I always include one outfit change in my rates. Like, I already factor that in, because in general, if they want B-roll, they usually want you in a different outfit in the B-roll anyway, so that it looks more natural. But any more than that, you're paying extra. Because, if here's what you say, because they'll say, yeah, I don't know if we should pay extra for an outfit change. Here's how you phrase it. When you get professional headshots done or professional model portfolio shot, the photographers always charge extra for outfit changes. They always do. They'll say, here's a package, you get 2 outfit changes. This package, you get 3 outfit changes, and you charge more, you get 4. Photographers do it, and a lot of people don't like to think about it. It goes right over their head. But as soon as you phrase it that way, think about a photographer. They change extra for different outfit changes. Your client is, the brand's more likely to listen. So, yeah, I'm so sorry that that's a minimum of 1 hour for hair and makeup. That's right, minimum, especially if you're curling or crimping or whatever. I mean, I have multiple wigs, right? And my hair is in braids right now because I just had to put on a wig. And later tonight when I'm live streaming, I'll have to put on another wig because they want me to look like Karen, the Pittsford mom with 5 kids who drives an SUV. So, all things to think about. I'm so sorry, Jordan, that I can't hear you right now. Definitely want to talk to you soon about a live streaming opportunity. I'm going to text you. And so I'm going to hop off now. I'm going to text you on the phone.
Look at it now.
Right now. I'm going to text you right now.
No, look at it.
Don't
right.
Text. I can see. You can text me. Oh, did I see that you texted me? And I mentioned how you're looking for. Oh, yeah. Okay. Oh wait, and all of a sudden I can hear you. I don't know why.
Yay! Okay, cool. Awesome. Perfect. Right at the finisher. So what I said to Hope, I'll just lead it. And I said, before she leaves, definitely mention if you're looking, like, are you looking for new people? What are you looking for? And how can people submit to you?
Yes. So we're always looking for new people, just because we find you would submit through the local influencer tour website. There's a submission page there. You can also DM us on Instagram, and we will send you, we'll ask you a bunch of questions. We'll ask you to send us your portfolio. If we think it's a good fit, then we'll have you fill out our creator form. Here's what I'm going to say. Again, we are very specific. We work with some top creators. If you're just starting out on your journey, don't submit yet. Right? Because we don't want you to waste your time any more than we want you to waste ours, not to sound rude, but
that's right.
Just, we want you to have the best chance possible, right? So wait till you have a portfolio set up. You don't need to be in the industry for a year or even 6 months to submit. We don't look at how long you've been a content creator. We look at how good your work is. So do not submit to us without a portfolio. If you've got your portfolio and you think it's awesome and you're doing really well, I don't care if you've been a UGC creator for 1 week. A good portfolio is a good portfolio. If you have natural talent and you already know how to edit, awesome. We don't need a resume. We need like with a length of, I've been doing this for so long. We just need to see that you're good at what you do. So if you think that you've got what it takes, and that, come on, let's be real. Raw footage is always rough. You don't need to be a natural on camera if we're not using you for live stream. We just need to know, edit it to look like you're a natural on camera. So if you're good at editing and you can take 1 million takes if you want to in your own time, and then put it into something that looks like you made it easy, that's what we're looking for. So you can, again, just to wrap it up, you don't need to be doing this for a long time. You just need to have a good portfolio. If you throw that together in 1 week, in 1 day, cool. We don't know any different. We're just looking at the portfolio. So you can submit via local influencer tour, or you can send us your portfolio. Oh, good. Yeah. Or you can send us your portfolio at local influencer tour on DM us on Instagram.
Awesome. Yeah, we put her link in the thing. I know you got to go. Have a great meeting, and I'll talk to you later. Thank you so much for joining us today. I appreciate it. Bye. Yay. I'm so happy Hope got to come on, guys. I love Hope. She's great. She's been not only a great friend, but she really has got me some amazing jobs. And that's why I always like in the UGC course, for those that haven't been a part of it or haven't checked out. And guys, remember, we still have an hour left today. So if you are on our Instagram, our Facebook, our YouTube, or anything, come join us on our live stream now at actorsfasttrack.com/live show. Join us now. We're going to do a giveaway at the end of today's live at around like 1:50. So make sure you're joining in the fun. I'm so happy we have Lisa here. I'm going to hopefully get more people soon. But yeah, I love that Hope came here. And honestly, what's great about her is, like she said, if you have a portfolio. So when you take the UGC course with Actors Fast Track and you were able to get it, guys, we've been having the link the last couple of weeks. We'll have more soon because we're in the middle of our current live UGC course. It's our third one. But at the end of it, when you finish that, you will have the opportunity to have a portfolio. It might just be one page with those 3 types of videos I mentioned, or maybe some of the other suggestions that Hope did. I'm glad that she mentioned street interview content. I do a lot of street interview content. It's helped me so much get more jobs and bigger paying jobs, but that's something that comes easily to me. That's how I got into live streaming. If that's not your like thing, the 3 I mentioned, testimonial, that's kind of like the Yapper video she was mentioning, a how-to video just to kind of show like transitionally and stuff like that, and also unboxing. Those are really, really simple. That's what we recommend. We teach you about that in the course, and we teach you throughout the course how to take all that and start your UGC career once it's done. So think about it. And our whole plan with that UGC course is how to make your first $1,000 in 1 month or less, pretty much with UGC. And it's possible. She mentioned 6 figures before I even told her about Mike, who's my co-teacher, who's making $250,000 this year. So make sure you're joining us tomorrow on the masterclass. Again, you can use that QR code. The link is also in the bio. Their masterclass is only $10, and you will learn about how to start your acting career as a business of acting entrepreneur person that you are. And also you'll learn about UGC. You'll learn about the other ways. But the Actors Fast Track Masterclass tomorrow, the theme of it is booked, paid, and in demand. Those are 3 things we want. I don't want to just be booked. I mean, booked and paid. And not only that, guys, I want to be booked, paid, and in demand. And that goes with UGC. That goes with any acting job possible, modeling, etc. Wherever you're at in your career, whatever kind of career that you want, book, paid, and in demand. So, guys, I'm going to open up the floor for more questions. So, guys, if you have any questions about Hope and things like that, anything that she mentioned, please comment below. Let me know. Join us in the live so I can tell you more information. And we're going to have more people joining us soon. But Lisa, did you learn a lot from Hope? Is there anything that stood out for you? Let me know. Yeah, guys, we put the link for the masterclass in the comments. So remember, go join in, go grab it now. This ticket is only $10 and you're going to get a return on investment. You're going to get that ROI because by the end of it, you will have a business plan to not make $10, make almost $1,000, beyond $1,000. Be like Mike, make $250,000. I'm on track to make 6 figures this year. Like it takes time, but trust me, if you just stay focused for like 90 days, not even, you're going to have the career you want. You're going to have the career you want in 30 days or less. You just got to stay focused. Hope just said you could be doing UGC for a week. If you have a great portfolio to show your skills, which you all have because we've been forced to edit our self-tapes for at least 6 years now, you have the editing skills. You can get work right off the bat. Imagine, mind blown. You can get a rep and booked off the bat, and people to broker your deals for you or broker your own. I love the way that Hope talks about it because the way that she's running her agency is the way that we're trying to tell people that you can be controlling your acting career and the kind of reps that you want. You want them finding out, is the job good enough for my actor? Not is my actor good enough for the job? I think that's a really great way to think about it. Is my actor good enough for the job, or is the job good enough for my actor? That's what you want with the reps when they're calling and pitching you. And she just told you that's what she's doing, right? She's also making sure that you're getting paid for all those extras. And I love the point that she made about the outfit changes. Because, yeah, we pay headshot photographers for the amount of looks that we do, right? And, yeah, like that's the big the anxiety thing for me is always the makeup because it takes forever to do something, and I always like to double dip. So if I'm getting paid for it, heck yes. Lisa, the fact that there are a lot of different facets is awesome. It creates so many possibilities. Exactly. Yes. And guys, I want to let you know, like, I haven't, I love how the hardest things for actors when we book work is like finding our real footage. The amount of time it takes for me to get real footage from a job I maybe did a year ago, I want to get it for 2 years sometimes because the film's not out, right? I can do so much like UGC work or create UGC work, put it in my portfolio, and that's book me acting jobs. And her point about backstage, I really, really like. I booked Cuisinart and Tempur-Pedic off my portfolio, not because I gave them a pre-screen. I do like pre-screens depending on the brand, but I do like what she says. She's like, I'm not getting paid for this. I'm not going to send it to you blindly, right? So yeah, Lisa, I love that. Lisa, is there any types of, I'm glad you said that you like the ad type is more your speed anyway. Is there any other types of UGC content that she mentioned that you didn't know about before or that you didn't think of? Would love to know. So yeah, I'm just letting Hope thank you. I'm see she's going to join us on the masterclass tomorrow to come hang out. But yeah, I thought it would be really great to have someone that's like an influencer rep or a creator rep. I'm going to say creator. I hate the word influencer. It's gotten so tacky. But no, I think it's great to also show like you don't have to be a social media connoisseur or expert to be a UGC creator, and that you can get work locally, nationally, internationally, whatever. There's so many opportunities. So guys, we're going to have 2 more guests coming on in probably about 10 minutes. This trade me, not my thing, but good to know. Yep. Lisa, totally. But that's another thing. If it's not your thing, you don't have to do it. And I think that's just really, really important for people to know. Again, this whole thing with Actors Fast Track is about taking control of your career. You don't have to do everything. You don't have to sell your soul to the devil. You don't have to like do jobs you don't want to do. You could choose the work that you do to get you from stage 1, stage 2, stage whatever, right? So yeah, no, the street interview thing I love. That's my kind of thing, but that's fine if it's not kind of your kind of thing. I know a lot of people where it's like their kind of thing is not my kind of thing, right? So like I like the podcast style ones. It's very particular for certain people. A lot of brands right now have like fake podcasts, but it works really, really well. I love how our live streams here have become more of like a podcast style because people like conversations. I like conversations, like a lot more out of it as a consumer when I'm part of a bigger conversation. So, all right, if you guys have any more questions, don't be shy. Again, guys, we're going to be done in about an hour, not even. We're going to have 2 more guests coming up, 2 amazing actors from Actors Fast Track who are utilizing their branding strategy to get auditions for leads, to be making relationships with top like players at some of the biggest shows and networks and things nationally, internationally, and we're going to talk about that. If there's any other questions you guys have about UGC or more stuff about the masterclass, please let me know. Again, guys, we're going to be here for another like 53 minutes, give or take. I'm going to announce the next winner for the giveaway at like 1:50 if anyone's joining us today. But more importantly, this is your chance to get the masterclass tickets for $10. For some people, that is like the cost of a cup of coffee, and you're going to let that class is going to last a lot longer than that cup of coffee. I know that right now, I don't know why, but my Starbucks order, if I decide to go there, like it's pumpkin spice latte time, guys. Like my drinks end up costing like $8 to $10, which is insane to me. But that's because I get, I get the non-dairy like milk, and I get the larger size and all that stuff. So why spend $10 on a coffee when I could spend $10 on something that's going to maybe provide me coffee for free? Can we use our brand itself as UGC content? Yes, I love that question, Lisa. I do that all the time. I try to find if there's a brand that I'm working with, for example, that I'm going to put on my own, throw up my own Instagram profile or my own TikTok, whatever, my own platforms. I always try to make sure it's aligned with my brand because that's my kind of like gateway into the world of Jordan. That's like my 24/7 programming of Jordan. And I want to invite people I want to see it to come to connect with me. The people I want to invite to that are people that I want them to hire me for either more work as an actor, as a host, as a creator. And so I make sure it's aligned with my brand because that's kind of the roles that I'm looking for, right? And they're going to look at my socials and they're going to look at those things. So yes, when it comes to certain brands, I always tell people, start with products or brands or stuff that are related to your Actors Fast Track branding strategy, because that's also a great way to get used to pitching as your brand. And you're seeing like, and you're also going to be able to see like, okay, is the brand that I think I am and the way that I'm pitching it, is that responding well to the people that I'm pitching to? Because sometimes it's like, the way I like to liken it is a lot of people like to say, like they look for headshots that make them look really hot. And the reality is that no one's looking for a headshot for you to be hot necessarily, because it's not for a dating profile, right? But sometimes what we think looks hot is not what people are looking for, or is not what other people like. We're not looking at. We're looking to book a role, not to get a date. So are we putting our best foot forward? Are we? What are the signals we're giving off that we think they're saying what they're saying? Are they actually being digested by the person who's receiving them? If that makes sense. So I always say try to work with the brand that you're working with for your acting brand, because this UGC is an extension of your acting brand. So I always think it's a good idea. Like I like, obviously I got Playboy on my wall, guys. I did a Blue Chew. I've done a couple Blue Chew ads the last like month. Blue Chew, if you don't know, it's a men's ED supplement. That's all I'm going to say. It's very on brand with like my edgy bad girl vibes, right? Like it's very on brand with me. Now, if I was like very much not that brand, like that wouldn't work for me. I wouldn't want that because it might tarnish my brand if people see it. So I'm very particular about certain UGC jobs I do, but at the same time, I usually take a lot of different ones. I like having variety. I like wearing many different hats, and I like to be able to kind of, especially with live streaming, I have a different personality, so to speak, for every different brand that I go live for. I have brands that are very provocative, and so you use more provocative language. I have brands that are very much more bestie, women forward, not so provocative, but more supportive language. I have brands that I are much more health related, so they're more expert, like personality. So I think it's always good to kind of play around and extend that. Valorie always says that your brand is like, it's like an umbrella. There are different shades of who you are. They're different gradients, if you will, of who you are underneath that brand. Like Valerie's brand is like the adorable bully. She's a combination of Kathy Bates and Drew Barrymore, right? The characters that she goes after, it's like, it's that Karen, or it's that, like, she just did a commercial where she was like a dirty trucker bully lady, like, I think. And it's just it's an array. You're different shades of it. Like, it's not going to be so upside down. Like, I could be Beth Dutton in a power suit who's going to put your balls to a wall, who's a power boss, right? And I also could be like the drug addict girl who sold Valium at the after prom party on Law and Order. Like, it's very different, but they're both kind of women who are constantly at odds with themselves. Like, it's different. I'm never going to be the girl that got the straight A's and wears a petticoat and shops at J. Crew. Like, that's never going to be me. That's never been me. If I could release that brand easier, maybe it would be me. But I'm just saying, I think it's important. So I know, Lisa, that was a very long answer to your question, but I hope that it made sense. But I think that's a great way, especially since you're saying like you're just getting started. That's an easy way to get started for you. Awesome. We have our guest. Hi, Violetta.
Hi, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Awesome. So Violetta's here, and then I think Pippa's going to join us soon. Violet just got off the weekly accountability call because the Actors Fast Track, we got cohorts, we got accountability, we do everything. But Violet, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I am good. I'm so happy that you got to join us on live because I've been talking about branding, because tomorrow we have the masterclass, and the masterclass is booked, paid, and in demand. And what I think is great is that, speaking of branding, which I think is a huge part of the pitch process, you have been able to like rock that. You are like, and Pippa's here too. Hi, Pippa. Hi, everybody. Meet Pippa and Violetta. They're some of our Actors Fast Tracks badasses. I love them both. And they both are very good about branding and have been on a straight trajectory of their brand. And literally, what I love about both of you is that every step you take to your ultimate goal is still a step that's aligned with it, even it might not be that exact. Like, I'm being vague on purpose. I want you guys to talk about it, but I think it's important. I would love to hear you both talk about your branding first, and then we'll talk more about like how that's helped you in your acting career. So Violetta was here first, so we have to go Violetta first. So sorry, Pippa.
Okay, so I think I started working with Actors Fast Track at the end of 2021, I think, and then I joined more at the beginning of 2022. So I started doing the branding work in the books and stuff like that. So I was like looking at the similarities between me and like the characters and all these stuff. So I started doing the work, and then I was like, this is interesting.
Yes.
This is interesting. But
What are some of
also,
the things that first came up for you? So when you were, before you came up with the most like coolest brand line ever, like an adjective that I wish I was clever enough to come up with, I want to know, like, how did you get there? So like, what are some of the things that you were kind of pulling from when you got started that while you were trying to decipher what is your acting brand?
so some of the characters from like my childhood, but also characters that I love that as an adult. So
So
a
what are
lot
some?
that came up. So a
Okay,
lot of
yeah.
characters that came up were Wednesday Adams. A lot of characters were sort of like, I think I've been compared to like Winona Ryder a lot,
Definitely,
and Tim Burton. I love him. I want to work with him one day.
of course.
What else? Some of the adjectives that were came up with were like strange, peculiar, quirky, like a bookworm, sort of like cute, but like in a like quirky way. And it was sort of like, so I looked at all these characters, like Christina Ricci, for example. I was compared a lot to, and I can't remember all the top of my head. I don't have my notebook with me.
Oh, it's fine.
But yeah, so some of my branding statements at the beginning was the creepy girl next door.
Okay.
That was my first. I can't remember all of them. One I still use, but like less, is the pint-sized monster who will either save the world or destroy the world.
Fair.
And okay, I think I'll bring this up now. So one of my branding statement I have that I use the most consistently now is spookdorable, which is spooky plus adorable.
The coolest statement ever. Spooked. Every time I see you, I just think spookdorable. Like I see Pippa the way that she like positions herself. So we'll talk about that in a second. But like the fact that your branding statement is so you, it's just work. But like spookdorable to me is like it's, as a goth kid myself, I relate to that. I am not adorable, so I'm not that cute, but I think like it does explain who you are. And when you were saying about Winona Ryder and Christina Ricci, that knowing you, that is so you. And like you need to get that line from Beetlejuice on a shirt that says, "I myself am strange and unusual." And I think that spookdorable. So you came up with spookdorable, and how has that helped you in your acting career?
Well, so at the beginning of working with Actors Fast Track, I was sort of like getting like these. I wasn't really getting auditions where I was like I was submitting on a whim. But the more specific I got, the more auditions I got, and the more specific I got. So currently now, majority of my auditions have been for horror things, horror related. So, and I guess I'll talk about this now. But at the beginning, when I was first working with Actors Fast Track, one of the characters that was also like Carrie and Wednesday Adams were the most consistent, two of like the most consistent that were brought up. And I actually went after Wednesday really hard. I didn't get it, obviously. And I was keeping my eye on Carrie because I heard that it was sort of, they announced that they were going to make a TV show out of it. So I was like, and then I remember, and then I used all the information I got. Like I have this giant Word document of all the branding, of all the notes that people have given me about my branding and the branding notes that I have. And one of the people I've been compared to was Sissy Spacek.
Perfect.
So one day, so this very rarely happens, but the audition was placed on Actors Access for the lead in Stephen King's Carrie, which is obviously coming out on Amazon Prime. So I submitted it, saw it, wrote a whole email. I worked really hard. I almost gave up finding the casting director's email addresses. But I found them, like, I can't even remember how, but it was like a really obscure way I found them. I can't even remember how I found them. But I wrote this email. I sent everyone involved an email asking for an audition, including my pitch, and I included my pitch video with it, and then I explained why I'd be perfect for this role. And I got the audition for the series lead in Carrie on Amazon Prime. So that's sort of how it has helped my brand.
I want to just pause for everyone that's going to see this. She pitched herself and got herself an audition for the lead in Carrie. That's now on Amazon. That's be on Amazon Prime if it's not already. And I just want to say, like, you made that happen. You didn't wait for an agent. You weren't waiting for a response on Actors Access. You you found it, you applied for it, but then you took the extra step and you pitched yourself for it and you got the audition, which is such a huge win, Violet. It's like so huge. But yeah, no, continue. I just like want to make sure we have that soundbite that you made that happen for yourself because of what you learned and did it for yourself.
Yeah, they told me, like, in the email, that they loved my pitch video so much. They're like, I'm gonna give you a shot.
That's amazing.
So that, and then I worked with that I got it, like, coached and filmed it and submitted it, and I emailed them telling them I thanking them, and they told me that they loved my audition video, but they're going in obviously a different direction because somebody else is playing her. So that's sort of like my journey with Carrie, and now I'm diving deeper and deeper into the Stephen King universe. So my next thing is I'm trying to get into Welcome to Derry. So
yes, we're gonna cross our fingers for you. Welcome to Derry. It's definitely gonna happen. They announced it finally got greenlit for season 2, and they're going backwards in time. And the great thing about that is what you started, you never know if they're gonna book you in more stuff. So while you're on that journey, I'd like to talk to Pippa, because I know that Pippa is constantly just throwing her name out there. But like a lot of the steps that you've taken to your ultimate goal of being this character, which we're going to talk about in a second, you've booked great roles in between that. So Pippa, please tell us your ultimate acting dream. I'm so excited. This is so cool. Okay. You guys are the coolest. I'm so excited. I was really hoping you guys could both go on. So this is great.
So I came back into acting after teaching for 25 years. I did acting as a kid as well and at uni. And my route really is going, I love the thrillers, the horrors as well, but I particularly love the serial killer route.
As you should.
Yes. And my favourite show is Criminal Minds, and absolutely my ultimate dream is to play an unsub on Criminal Minds. So I'm going after that hard now. I know that I'm in the UK, but until I'm told no, then I will keep going after that. My branding started out as being a bit broader, a bit like the chameleon, quirky chameleon, whereas now it's honed into the suburban psychopath. So, you know, the teacher, the doctor, the nurse with the bodies buried underneath type thing. And I tend to play those roles very well. And yeah, as Jordan said, I'm going after America, but also after UK crime shows. And in the meantime, have booked, I'll be on Rivals in November, and Bergerac in, I think, season 3. But I'm still going after Criminal Minds, Dexter, UK crime shows, but I'm more organised than I was before I joined Actors Fast Track, so that I send out emails every month. Valorie always says it could take between 15 and 20 goes before you get a response. So on the 17th go, the Criminal Minds casting director, April Webster, responded and said that she loved my characterization and my pitch video and that they'll consider me for the next series. So, and Jordan and I are currently working on something for me to send to in the post to the casting and the showrunner as well. So yeah, that's my kind of like, I create a lot of my own content as well as writing to the casting directors, writers, directors, producers. I've created my own serial killer card series on Instagram and TikTok. I've created a bespoke Criminal Minds pitch video. My pitch video has got clips of me acting in the different roles I've done. So yeah, so I don't just sit around and wait, and I don't have an agent. So I'd rather just go out, and I'm quite I need control. So I need to know that it's done and that I do it. And I'm using all networks, but Act Fast Track taught me that, and you've got to be able to put the systems in. And there are some months where you think, oh, but it's like, well, actually it's the long game, and you've got to just keep doing it, and you've got to just keep say, hey, I'm here. So yeah, and make a lot of it about them. I had a lovely response from the casting director this week, because I'd watched Department Q.
Oh, so good.
It's so good.
You did great on that, yeah.
Yeah, she was casting that. Well, she cast the first season. And so I wrote to her and told her genuinely how much it was brilliantly cast and how great a show it was, and had a lovely long email back from her. So it's all about building the rapport and being genuinely interested in working and being on their level. Not they are somebody that you want to work with. So and we have a product that they want and they need.
I think that's great, the way that you both explained. Obviously, we've all been able to be successful in our own ways, in ways that a lot of our peers are not, because of the way that we've changed our thinking as actors. And what I think is great that you said, Pip, about like being in control. The reality is, I feel that for the longest time, being a creative meant that the only thing you can control is your creativity. You can't control your career. And the reality that we're finding now is you control every aspect because you're the creative one. And that's the thing. It's that no one else can do what you do. That's why they need you in these other things. Like that's why, and I keep going back to the AI problem that everyone thinks it is. No one's going to let AI replace stuff. I mean, all the AI script, I keep going back to Verticals because it's just an easy example. All the AI scripts people are starting to hate. They're writing better scripts. All the AI videos that they made because they thought it'd be cheaper and easier. The fans of those networks really punched him back and was like, this is not
what we want. Can't you? You can absolutely
tell, yeah.
So yeah, because I'm a writer as well, and yeah, no, you can absolutely tell when it's not real and it's AI instead. So yeah.
So I think it's important to know that you guys are creating your own path to success, and you're specific. Both of you mentioned this about being specific. Yes. Oh yeah. Also, like Lisa said, that's awesome, Pippa. I'm a CSI junkie myself. Yes, this is giving me ideas. Yeah. Also, Pippa, have you done Slow Horse? Is Slow Horses over? Because if you're not, you should be on Slow Horses.
I've been emailing them since the beginning. So I email about 350 to 400 a month.
I love that. That's
personal.
Gotta write that down. Gotta be like Pippa. Gotta be doing 300 to 400 a month.
And I don't, because in the UK the laws are very much, you can't just send out mass mail. You can't do that if they haven't subscribed at all. So I send individual ones and say, if you don't want to hear from me. So I do each one by hand.
Interesting. I love that. But I love that. I think the personal thing is very important. And even Violetta, you mentioned it. I'm the same way. I can't do the mass emails. I hate getting them. So I'm not the kind of person to send them out. I like personal one-on-one because I'm better at the specific sell. Yeah. Some people who've had a little bit more success are good as at the blanket sell because they've had a lot more too. But to me, it's really, I love making that very strong personal relationship, which I think you only get when you send one-on-one emails. But that doesn't work for everybody. There are people in Actors Fast Track that call up the phone and pitch. That gives me anxiety. I don't like that, but I send great emails. I'm a good email writer. Okay. So, but I think what's great about both of you, again, the journey that you take, like Violetta started out with Christina Ricci, Winona Ryder. I went out for Wednesday. You got the Sissy Spacek was part of your brand document. Boom, you got curious. So going after those things, you got the audition for the one of the roles you were going after. Pippa, you want to be an unsub in Criminal Minds, but your journey in developing this unsub brand has gotten you in the doors of other places that have similar characters. So I think it just shows that it's possible. It's the consistency and also taking steps always in the right direction. Things will happen for you. And I think that's so important. So I guess another question for both of you is, what has been some of the most unique reframes that have happened to you, or kind of like myth busters that kind of has happened to you since working with Actors Fast Track? Like, what did you think before, and what was a huge thing that now you think the exact opposite of since working with Actors Fast Track?
I think, should I just...
Yeah, jump in.
In the UK, you're very much told, and even now I'm told, oh, what, you don't have an agent? You're self-rep? And I'm like, well, yeah, I've had 2 agents and they didn't work for me. And I was more stressed with them. Mm-hmm. And to be honest, I need somebody that's going in my direction. And if and when I get an agent, it'll be the right time. Mm-hmm. And you don't, but in the UK, it's very much you need an agent. Mm-hmm. And the other thing is the fact that, I thought, oh, you just looked on Backstage or Mandy, and you couldn't email the casting directors directly, let alone email them repeatedly. So that's been fantastic. Really, really good to know that we're not bothering them, and that actually we are our own business, and we've got to promote ourselves. Mm-hmm. So that was the big thing, I think, that I learned, that you've got to promote yourself. You are, and be specific. You're always told, oh, you'll be then pigeonholed into something, but actually then at least they know what to do with you.
Exactly. And I think another point about that with the casting directors, I have found that any casting director that's given me pushback has not been like a really successful one anyway. And I'm just like, I don't want to play in your sandbox. I think it's the fact that like, it's really that transition of like, you're a business. Because in any other business, if I just called and pitched myself, like, I want to work with you, how's that work? Are you looking for people? That's so simple for any other industry, but we don't think like that because we've been told for some reason, like we're the redheaded stepchild of the entertainment industry when we're the fuel of it, right? Or part of it. So Violetta, what was it for you?
I feel like sort of it had to do with, so we talk about gatekeeping a lot, and how, and blacklisting and all that, and how like the industry is all full of like rich kids or like nepotism babies and all that stuff, and how you have to, if you aren't one of those, you have to either you won't get in, or you have to like slowly sort of like build up your career. But that's not really the case, because I got the audition for like the lead,
right?
And there are plenty of other people who have like are not from those type of families, who they've had like, I can't remember who it was, but I remember Valerie told me the story where there's this actress, she had like only one co-star role, and she got the lead in a Netflix series. So it's sort of like, and I sort of felt like, oh well, they're gonna be like, there's like this sort of like portrayal of like Hollywood and stuff, that they're all like snooty and like gatekeepers, which some of them are, but some of them are like, oh, if you email, if you're like cool and like polite, they'll chat with you and want to help you or give you an audition or something like that. So I feel like it was mostly like a lot of it was sort of like, I felt like it was a lot more gatekeepy, of course, than it actually is, even though it is kind of gatekeepy, but it's not as exaggerated as people make it out to be.
Definitely. I think a big point, and Lisa wrote, I always thought it was either about having money or who you knew. And I think there's part of that, I would say the who you know is part of it, but it's also the who you know, you can build those relationships yourself. You don't have to wait for someone to open the door for you. And I think it's like, if it's who you know, then we're allowed to know people. And I think that that's the thing, is that we were not allowing ourselves, we were waiting for someone to introduce us to the right person, but then we have to find the first person, when really it's like, who you know, make that relationship, let them know you, because they have to know you. And I think another thing that you mentioned about the gatekeeping, I think we're at a point now, especially since the strike, and I think it was happening even before the strike, since streaming, that a lot of people are looking for new talent. A lot of people are sick of seeing the same people all the time, playing the same things. I think we're looking for more people to relate to. Projects are becoming more original, even though they've been making like duplicates of all the same stuff the last couple of years. They're making more original stuff. They're taking stuff from books. They're looking for new faces because they want to find the next round of people that can inspire people. And that's hundreds of thousands of people, Also, I think what's really important that I forgot to mention when you were talking, Pippa, I think another big thing is, you're in the UK trying to work in the US. I think it also shows that like, it's international now. Like, I was going after work in the UK as well. And I got responses from big people, and I didn't even know about this rule with the subscription and the stuff. I was just like, hey, what's up? Like, you know, and I think that's another thing is like, you can really, it's about, when it comes to gatekeeping, I think it's really about being professional, and people forget what being professional. Being professional is really just being like respectful. You could be respectfully quirky, respectfully like cocky in a way if that's your brand, but you can also close it in like a buttoner where it's professional. There's a difference between coming off desperate, difference coming off egomaniacal, and difference coming off like truly professional. These are your colleagues. You want them to know who you are, but that's in a phone call or an email or whatever. But I think it just shows like we're becoming a more community-based industry, which we've always been. But if they're seeing a lot more things are getting exposed, because I think we have a lot more access to things now than we didn't before. So really good people are starting to really come out of the woodwork. And I think that's happening because we are making relationships with good people.
And yeah, what do you think of in the UK, the miniseries Adolescents?
Right, perfect example.
I mean, that was written by, okay, he's fairly well known in UK, but that was a real, unknown boy star. Okay, the wife was well, some of the were fairly well known.
But Stephen Graham, yeah.
The others weren't, and it was obviously one camera take, and that won so many awards and was just, and he's now writing something else. I'm trying to get on, but he's still writing, yeah.
Yeah, and I just think it's also great that like we look at these articles and notices now as like job opportunities, when it's no different than like somebody who's trying to get stock options. They're going to look at the finance section, right? Like we're looking at jobs, we're going to look at the entertainment section, we're going to look at like what are being options, and like Lisa just said, networking is key, and networking doesn't always have to be in person. It could be online, it could be through social, it could be through LinkedIn, it could be through email, etc. So I just think it's really exciting to see how this has worked for all of us in different ways, which is why I'm going to say again, guys, we have a masterclass tomorrow, and the tickets right now are $10. I know I'm going to be there. I'm assuming you guys are probably going to be there. But overall, like we're going to talk about these things, about branding and how to make your career plan. And I think that's another thing that actors and entertainers forget, is that you have to have a career plan. Everybody that's been successful had a career plan. Like and the thing is that's what we realized. It's not like, not everyone just got like discovered on the street. When they got discovered on the street, they still then had a career plan. I mean, if you look at Julia Roberts, she had a career plan. Like that, her brother, Eric Roberts, had a career plan. They went different ways, but I'm just saying everyone that's been successful now had a career plan. Like people don't know that Jennifer Aniston was trying to get on SNL because she was friends with Adam Sandler. That was part of her plan. It didn't work out. She went a different way. Like I think the fact is we think that all these people are just discovered out of nowhere. When the reality, like any other industry and any other business and any other job, they had career plans. And that's what we're discovering and making for ourselves and giving ourselves direction. Right?
Absolutely. And keeping going with it. Yes. Some weeks are harder than others. And you just got to think, well, positive, it will get there. It's not something you can't just give up.
Exactly. So what are you two working on now?
So I'm working on the Criminal Minds portfolio. I sent it over. Jordan had a long chat with this, actually, so with Violet as well. And I sent it over to her, and I'm then going to talk to her at some point and then put it hopefully onto Canva to email that and send that in the post.
Yeah, so just so everyone knows, so Pippa, right now, you are going after the unsub thing, but you made all these great characters. And when we talk about pitching, I think a lot of people are like, what do you mean pitching? Like emails and phone calls? That's terrifying. And it's like, once you get a hang of it and you have enough stuff going, it goes even back to what we were just talking about before you guys came on, which was UGC portfolios. And like having something that really shows your brand and who you are and what you could do is just like, you have this portfolio now of all these characters that you can come up with, and just picking out some of them to then just start sending out. Like you don't need an updated reel right now. You have a reel that you've collected for yourself, right? And that you're making something to send out to show people about all these characters you've created, which also shows that you know how to edit, you know how to make your own content, you know how to think in this different direction. You're creative and you're making your own work, not waiting for someone to give it to you. And I think the same thing with you, Violetta, like you're making the pitch videos, and pitch videos is something that will also be discussed tomorrow. And I think that, making a bespoke pitch video for specific people versus a general pitch, and whether that's for all these things. But at the end of the day, is also the fact that you guys are going after it yourself. You're not even waiting for reps. Reps are something that if it comes, it goes, whatever. but that you're doing this for yourself and you're actually making strides, which only makes you more valuable to the next person you pitch to be representation.
Can I just add something in there?
Oh, please go ahead. Yeah.
Sometimes, because it could be that anyone's listening to this feels quite overwhelmed with everything. And that's what Actors Fast Track does really well, because the community is incredible, and it's all the other people, and it's knowing that actually if you do feel overwhelmed, what steps, what's priority, and if you don't manage to do that, doesn't matter. You know, what's the key thing? You know, like me at the moment, my key thing is, because I'm going away next week actually to America, is I really want to do the Criminal Minds thing and finish getting out my outreaches. Those are the key. Yes, I've got a list of other things, but if they don't get done till I'm away or I come back, it doesn't matter. Right. So it's not being over, and that's where the group really helps. In Actors Fast Track is key to me. It's the best group that I belong to, and I love looking forward to coming to all the sessions, and I know that any help is out there and any advice, and so to me sometimes it was very overwhelming to begin with, but Valorie did break it down, and when I went to the first mastermind, you can ask questions all the time and everybody will help you.
I think that's another big thing of importance as well, is like you said, like the community for me was truly one of the best things, is the fact that it's not just about the person running it. It's about all the people that have built out this world, that we're all supporting each other, and we're all being successful in small and big ways. Because some big thing to somebody might be small to somebody else, but the fact that to somebody else, like that's a big thing. Like it just shows no matter what point you are in your career, every step that we've taken has been a big thing because we didn't know we could take it before. And we have a bunch of people that are going to tell you you're doing the right thing, versus if you tell people that aren't thinking in this kind of way, they're going to tell you that you're crazy. And like you said, like I know for a fact that I might have dropped the ball last week or whatever with certain things I was doing, but I know if I pick it up and I stay consistent next week, I'm going to get responses because I make my own schedule, which could be good or bad. But if you're bad at that, like we had a big talk about this on Monday, like I have ADHD and I struggle with it a lot, but I can talk to people who can hold me. Like I told Pippa, bother me as much as you can to make sure that I review your portfolio thing. But that's the thing, is that you have people, because it gets lonely. And I think that it really helps. The community really helps. It's one of the strongest things to me that I believe of Actors Fast Track, because it is very lonely, and to be able to be with people that are going to cheer you on and not be competition and prove that nobody's competition is great. Like I might want to go out for Wednesday. I'm not going to be Wednesday, but I might be, a TA or a teacher for whatever I know. But I'm just saying, like, we can want to play in similar worlds and support each other. And we have this massive database. I mentioned earlier, we got Tim Burton's email and all that stuff. We have this massive database and resources that we all share with each other, because we're part of this community that we all invest into with time and education and all that good stuff. So I think it's really amazing. Yeah. What about you, Violetta? Where are you at?
So before I say that, I do want to say this. All this seems like overwhelming, but like one of the things we do is we have to pick a game to like sort of like focus on what we want. But what I'm working on is sort of Monday I'm going to send out congratulations to the Carrie people.
Yes, she is.
Yes, and I'm working on sending I did like a specific pitch for Welcome Dairy. So I'm going to work on sending, I'm going to draft up the email next week and send it out and try to send it out. And I'm also working like on a script about a clown. It's a comment in like mental health and all that stuff. So it's really fun and interesting. And I've always been interested in clowns. And it's an excuse for me to research and learn more about them. And I'm also working on a horror series on Instagram, like a short form. So that's sort of like where I'm, what I'm working on currently. Like I'm got very specific, so I'm focusing on Stephen King, and then I got even more specific and focusing on dairy. And obviously that will help me in other places as well.
And even though you said about overwhelming, I just want to like also mention how even though that's a lot of stuff for someone who's never been a part of Actors Fast Track before, everything you just said is within your brand. You're not doing anything outside your brand. Even what you're writing, what you're researching, what you're going after, it's all within the brand. I think that also shows that going back to the game, we're all very specific. It's not like, oh my God, I have to reach out to all these casting directors and all these agents and this, and I have to, no, like very, very specific. Like I right now am trying to find very, very specific that you guys actually inspired me. I've been writing a series since 2020, and I really realized that my dream is to write and create my own stuff. Like I want to be like the American Phoebe Waller-Bridge, and I'm inspired because we're all writing. And I actually wrote something I'd been putting off for like a year the other day, and it's because of the fact that we're all constantly pushing ourselves to stretch ourselves and our creativity and show that, like I know that for me, my first acting coach and manager in New York City, which you can have, they can not supposed to be the same person, by the way, I found out later on, but she didn't like that I was doing all these different things, when my representation now loves that I do all these different things. And he's on my wavelength, and he checks in with me, and he supports stuff, and he's invested. He's the kind of rep I've always wanted. And we also can make the decisions about having the right people around us and making sure that wearing many hats, if someone's not on board with that, then they're not part of my team. And part of my team is this great community that we've been a part of. So it's just great to see how, and the reason I cheered everyone on, just so everyone knows, is that I run cohorts that Pippa and Violetta are both in, and we checked in last Monday, and part of the goal for the following Monday, because we do it every like first and last Monday, so of the month, is that next time we met was going to be the portfolio for Pippa and the email for Violetta, because that's something that we know that it was really important. And it's just about talking it out, like, why am I having trouble? Like, what's something that's a roadblock? We're not just helping each other pursue our acting careers, we're also helping each other become that successful business mindset, healthy, creative individual who's not, self-deprecating our career, but also blossoming our career. And that's why I love the fact that we do have this beautiful community and how these little spindles off of that. So no, you guys it's just so wonderful to see that. And it's so inspiring to me to hear your journey, because they're both different. It just shows that the more consistent you are, you keep hitting it, it's going to happen. And because of that, we've done things that I don't even think if I had a friend, which I probably do, who wanted to get on let's say just an under 5 on Welcome to Derry, and I told them my friend Violetta that I met through Actors Fast Track, I got to audition for Leading Carrie and is now following up with the Stephen King people. She'd be like, what do you mean? What do you mean? And and I talked to Pippa about the fact that I'm obsessed with Connor Story, and I want to morph myself into female Connor Story. And we talked about Criminal Minds, and the fact that you got the casting director and you created this whole series for yourself, that now no matter who you go after, you have this great thing that you made for yourself. I think a lot of people are also afraid to do that. So it's just so wonderful and inspiring. We feed off each other.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, we have about 15 minutes left, and I want to make sure that did you guys have anything that were something that you wanted to work on, or something that you've been having questions about that you've been really excited to see, I don't know, happen? I want to, where's your mind at, guys? And we just talked about what your game, speaking of games, let's talk about that. I think when you first were told, what game are you playing? What does that mean for you? And what was the first game that you both were playing, for example, with Actors Fast Track?
My first game was, I wanted to be one of those characters that you would find at Comic-Con.
Totally resonate with that.
Yeah, that was my game. And I was sort of Valerie was you need, and before that, it was a little less specific. Because you need to be specific. You need to go for the big thing. Because even if you don't get the big thing, you might get something else. So that was sort of my game and where I was at. I
love that. But that's the thing. It's I wanted also, when I was going after Harry Potter, I was I just want girls to dress up with me at Comic-Con. That's I want to be that. I'm I want to get to the point where I'm such a cool character that people are waving a wand. I mean, I played Jordan Elizabeth Gelber's character in Harry Potter. I'm very bad, and I'm still about that, because I think that's always fun to see. But no, I think that's a great goal. But you've gotten even more. What's your game now? Is that your same game, or what's your game now?
No, my game is sort of changed. So then I had another game. My next game after that, I think, was to be. I had multiple games. One of my other games was to be on in Stranger Things. That didn't happen, obviously. I'm still hoping to get into the play on Broadway to play Joyce one day, hopefully. And then my game after that was, I think I was playing these games simultaneously. But my other game, obviously, I told you about Wednesday, was to become Wednesday in Stephen King's Wednesday. And
Tim Burton's Wednesday.
Yes. And another game was to work with Stephen King. And my current game is to be in the Stephen King universe, but even more specifically, my game is to be in Welcome to Derry. That's my current game, basically.
All in the same. It all ended up with Stephen King one way or another. So I just say, but I think but that's the thing. Again, it goes all within your brand, and I think that our games change as we evolve as performers and creatives and business individuals now, and we didn't think that way. What's your game, Pippa? Where did you start and where are you at now?
Very well, my game was very specific and it still is, but I broadened it slightly. So my game was to play an unsub on Criminal Minds. Then it broadened to Or Dexter, and now it's on a long-running procedural. So I put the UK crime, because we've got a lot of UK crime shows as well. They're a bit more cozy, but that's fine. You can still have a teacher that's, killed a couple of.
I wish Sherlock was still around. You'd be so good on Sherlock. But yeah, I think, but that's the thing, like procedurals. Like I know for a fact, like one of my games is Get on Law and Order. That to me, that's like the rite of passage. When you're a New York actor, that's like the rite of passage is to get on Law and Order in one way or another. But I think that like I haven't defined my game now as the actress that I am now, and I think that's totally fine. It's about finding my game. But I think that for some people, that's where you're at. My whole life has changed last year. Who I am, how I think differently, how I position myself, and that's the thing. It's like I really think that we get lost in stereotypes when you first start acting. They tell you this like list of conventional stereotype cookie cutter people that you could be, and I always knew like they always wanted me to be, because I'm like I had blonde hair and blue eyes and all that stuff. They always like, you would be the girl next door, but you're not. You gotta figure out to be the girl next door. Like you said, you're the creepy girl next door. I'm like the guy cool girl next door. I'm like, I'm not even the girl next door. No one wants to be next door to me. They're like, it's just, that's the thing. Like, however you define yourself, but like I never fit in that mold, and I never resonated with that mold, and the people that I'm inspired by never fit in that mold, so to speak. And I think that that's what's really great, is that we don't have to fix those things. Like, you're not the leading man anymore. You guys can be the superhero that was a villain first, or whoever, or like the doctor that secretly kills his patients, like, or the angel of death. Like, there's so many wonderful ways you can juxtapose definitions of people, who they are now and where they're at, and give more color to the people you can play. The game is to keep playing the game when things change. Exactly, Lisa. I agree. Very much so. That is definitely the game. But I really feel that Actors Fast Track has at least given us permission to make our own decisions. Right. And that's something that I think it's important for people, because we do have a lot of people from international people, which I mentioned before, people in the States, people outside the States. I think it's important to know that we're giving ourselves the ability to just keep going in the way that we want to, with respect and with our own intentions, not waiting for someone to allow us to have the space in the room and the voice. We are taking that back. We always had it, but we always felt like we couldn't use it, even though we need it when we perform. So,
yeah, we were always seen like the lowest of the low, whereas
right.
In fact, they can't make a film or TV show without actors. So
yeah, actors are still, I think, the most driving force with most projects. I mean, yeah. Christopher Nolan's great, but why are people ironically all pissed about The Odyssey? Is because all he did was put name actors, because he knows those name actors will drive it, but it almost backfired. The fact is, people are looking for new faces, but also actors people connect with, and they want to see where the actors are. Like, Christopher Nolan became Christopher Nolan because he's a great director, but also he helped create great careers, and there's the actors and then the directors and the writer. And like that like you said, with the adolescents, even like it's Stephen Graham, right? I'm not wrong. Yeah. He was trying to make them for Forever, right? Like he was leading it, and that's like his first big award. And I think that it's the fact that the big overarching umbrella that I think is kind of where I'm going at, which is why I really implore everyone to sign up for the masterclass, is because you can make your own break now. And you've always been able to make your own break, but now it's even more obtainable because we have more access to everything, when before you really had to sneak in.
Yeah.
And now, and people still made it. And now we have access to more, and people are more accessible, and people are making themselves more available. You know, look at all the actors that are at different conventions. The amount of I'm friendly with Dan Fogler now, which is the weirdest thing of my life. He's just he's such a cool person. I really love Dan. He's been wonderful, and I've befriended him the last couple of years, and he's really good friends with this other big producer I work with. And we went to go see the craziest movie, I think, like Motor City the other day, which was the weirdest movie of my life. For those who don't know, if you guys don't know what Motor City is, it's this new film. Ben Foster's in it, and Shailene Woodley, and this guy, Alan Richman or whatever, he plays Jack Reacher. Anyway, we're in the movie and we're watching it, and all of a sudden, like 10 minutes go by and there's no dialogue. And we're like, this is a really long intro. And he's like, do you think this was like a director's choice? And then when he discovers the whole movie has absolutely no dialogue and it's 2 hours long. And so we're hanging out, we're laughing about it, we're talking about film, and the whole time we're just looking at each other and like, it's just fun. But I met him through my journey of Harry Potter, and then it turned out he was connected to other people that I knew, and then I'm finding out like it's a really small world when you get into it. But it's just about, back to networking, it's really about being friends and connecting with people that you like and that you connect with, because everyone that's a big director, writer, actor today, they were all a fan of the things that they're doing now.
Yeah.
Like, and I think Jon Favreau is like a perfect example of that. He was such a nerd as a kid, and now he's written for, you know, Marvel and Star Wars and all those different things. And I think it's just shows like we love these things. You created a whole series for yourself, Pippa. It made it work. Violetta, you have this great brand that you're pitching. You're making work for you and sending out stuff that it just shows like it's about not only playing the game, but it's the love of the game, as those who play basketball say. It's the love of the game. So I'm really excited to see what's going to happen moving forward. We've got 5 minutes left, so I just want to give you guys a chance. Do you want to say anything else to anyone who's watching, who's still not sure about being a part of our awesome badass community of actors fast track, or things that you were surprised have happened to you because of it? And hopefully everyone will see us tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll definitely join up. It was the best thing that I did, and I had a long chat with Valorie as well. And yeah, what she said, it made so much sense. And there's so many resources, but I must say the information that we're given is fantastic, and also a lot of webinars access to. But it's the community that really, really, really is incredible and keeps you going.
Definitely.
And if you follow the advice, it works.
Surprisingly enough, if you follow the advice, it actually works. No, it's true. Violetta.
Yeah, what Pippa said, plus like the knowledge, like obviously the community, I feel like is a very important thing, because like sometimes when I'm like freaking out about something, I'm like I'll like talk about it in like school or like in like a video thing like this, and it'll help me, and like we help each other out. And plus like obviously the community plus the knowledge, like you'll learn how to do all the stuff, and how to improve your career in that. But you'll also have people who are on the journey with you, who are also further on the journey, right, and who are sort of like behind you. So it's sort of like the people before you are helping you, and the people after you're helping, and you're just like, and you're seeing how it's different, and you're seeing how, and obviously it's also like very supportive too, because I don't know if I majored in theater in college, and frankly it was not a supportive community. But like here I felt it was like very supportive, unlike a lot of environments for actors. So I would just recommend like joining, and it's sort of like helped me get over that like view.
Yeah, no, I think, like I said, the community is so strong, because even going to like acting school, like I went to performing arts high school, and then when I went to college, I was a theater minor. I decided if I was going to act, I was going to go do it instead of auditioning. And it's always been surprising to me how not supportive certain theater schools can be as a community, because it stems from, I think, a place from competition versus community. And the fact of the matter is, like, then there's no business course. Like I was also an art major, and as an art major, we had a business like of art course to show like how do we sell ourselves as artists. And I was like, how do we not have this for performers? And it's just like, I love that we have the community, because we also, like, I know we visited each other. I've done drop-offs with some of our UK people when I went to London. I know people come here. I hope to see you next week, Pippa. Like, I think what's great is that like the community is beyond just virtually. And also when Pippa mentions the webinars, guys, that's the Biz School. You guys can get access to the Biz School. We're going to offer it again. If it's not already in the links, guys, we're going to offer it again in our upcoming lives. I really recommend everyone join us for the masterclass tomorrow. And if you missed tomorrow, don't worry. We're going to go live more in September with more things and more exciting guests. And guys, thank you so much for joining us today. I am so grateful to you both. I adore you. I look forward to seeing you both on Monday, and we'll all have great wins to share. But guys, there's only a few seconds left, so make sure you are following us on all platforms to get notified next time we go live. I will be joining in more this September with more guests and more people. If you have anybody that you'd like to see, let us know. Guys, what other people do you think we should have on our live stream? Let's end that way.
Gosh, what other actors fast track?
Whether actors fast track or like reps or actor, like other successful actors. Like I had an influencer agent.
You get the Criminal Minds team on.
You know what? For you, Pippa, I will work on that. Exactly. And for you, Violetta, we'll get some spooky people, including the Stephen King's team. But guys, it's accessible because we know how to pitch them. So thank you all for coming. Lisa, thank you so much for saying. I will see everybody who's going to join us tomorrow. And more importantly, have a great rest of your weekend. Wow, I need coffee. Have a great day, everybody. Bye.
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 Bye. All right.